Jesus Christ, also referred to as Jesus of Nazareth, is the central figure of Christianity, whom the teachings of most Christian denominations hold to be the Son of God. Christianity regards Jesus as the awaited Messiah of the Old Testament and refers to him as Jesus Christ, a name that is also used in non-Christian contexts. Randy Savage. Randy Mario Poffo, better known by his ring name Macho Man Randy Savage, was an American professional wrestler and color commentator best known for his time in the World Wrestling Federation and World Championship Wrestling. He is considered to be one of the greatest pro wrestlers in history. Savage won 20 championships during his 32-year career. Homer. Homerus, best known as his anglicized name Homer, is the author of the Iliad and the Odyssey. He was believed by the ancient Greeks to have been the first and greatest of the epic poets. Author of the first known literature of Europe, he had a lasting effect on the Western canon. Whether and when he lived is unknown. Herodotus estimates that Homer lived 400 years before his own time, which would place him at around 850 BCE. Euripides. Euripides was a tragedian of classical thence. He is one of the three whose plays have survived, with the other two being Aeschylus and Sophocles. Some ancient scholars attributed 95 plays to him, but according to the Suda it was 92 at most. Of these, 18 or 19 have survived more or less complete, and there are also fragments, some substantial, of most of the other plays. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright, and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. His extant works, including some collaborations, consist of about 38 plays, 154 sonnets, 2 long narrative poems, and a few other verses, of which the authorship of some is uncertain. Mary Shelley. Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley was an English novelist, short story writer, dramatist, essayist, biographer, and travel writer, best known for her Gothic novel Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus. She also edited and promoted the works of her husband, the Romantic poet and philosopher Percy Bysshe Shelley. Her father was the political philosopher William Godwin, and her mother was the philosopher and feminist Mary Wollstonecraft. Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe was an American author, poet, editor, and literary critic, considered part of the American Romantic movement. Best known for his tales of mystery and the macabre, Poe was one of the earliest American practitioners of the short story, and is generally considered the inventor of the detective fiction genre. He is further credited with contributing to the emerging genre of science fiction. Jules Verne. Jules Gabriel Verne was a French novelist, poet, and playwright best known for his adventure novels and his profound influence on the literary genre of science fiction. Verne was born to bourgeois parents in the seaport of Nantes, where he was trained to follow in his father's footsteps as a lawyer, but quit the profession early in life to write for magazines and the stage. Charles Dickens. Charles John Huffam Dickens was an English writer and social critic. He created some of the world's best-known fictional characters and is regarded as the greatest novelist of the Victorian era. His works enjoyed unprecedented popularity during his lifetime, and by the 20th century critics and scholars had recognized him as a literary genius. His novels and short stories enjoy lasting popularity. Moses. Moses was, according to the Hebrew Bible, a former Egyptian prince later turned prophet, religious leader, and lawgiver, to whom the authorship of the Torah is traditionally attributed. Also called Moshe Rabbeinu in Hebrew, he is the most important prophet in Judaism. He is also an important prophet in Christianity and Islam, as well as a number of other faiths. Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was a Serbian-American inventor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, physicist, and futurist best known for his contributions to the design of the modern alternating current electricity supply system. Tesla gained experience in telephony and electrical engineering before immigrating to the United States in 1884 to work for Thomas Edison in New York City. Democritus was an influential ancient Greek pre-Socratic philosopher primarily remembered today for his formulation of an atomic theory of the universe. Democritus was born in Abdera, Thrace around 460 BC. His exact contributions are difficult to disentangle from those of his mentor Leucippus, as they are often mentioned together in texts. Vincent van Gogh. Vincent Willem van Gogh was a major post-impressionist painter. He was a Dutch artist whose work had a far-reaching influence on 20th-century art. His output includes portraits, self-portraits, landscapes and still lives of cypresses, wheat fields, and sunflowers. Van Gogh drew as a child but did not paint until his late 20s. He completed many of his best-known works during the last 2 years of his life. Miguel de Cervantes. Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra, often known mononymously as Cervantes, was a Spanish novelist, poet, and playwright. His magnum opus, Don Quixote, considered to be the first modern European novel, is a classic of Western literature, and is regarded amongst the best works of fiction ever written. His influence on the Spanish language has been so great that the language is often called La Lengua de Cervantes. Oscar Wilde. Oscar Fingal O'Flaherty Wills Wilde was an Irish author, playwright, and poet. After writing in different forms throughout the 1880s, he became one of London's most popular playwrights in the early 1890s. Today he is remembered for his epigrams, his novel The Picture of Dorian Gray, his plays, as well as the circumstances of his imprisonment and early death. Wilde's parents were successful Anglo-Irish Dublin intellectuals.